This might be short. I thought that they were done with the yelling because I don't really want to do a live stream while that's going on. So, yeah, obviously they're having a little bit of a blip today, so that's not really my problem. Right, just I explained it. I'm familiar with that level of profound morbid insanity because I grew up with it. As soon as you get up in the morning, it starts. So it's similar to as soon as I get on this thing, there are beings that profoundly insane. And then apparently you're supposed to keep talking about them continuously as God kills them all. So it is what it is. But, anyways, I'm clearly not a negative person and I'm doing my best to ignore them as God kills them all. So, clearly a hostage in a room in somebody else's rental house, and I'm not allowed to have guests even on the front porch, and you're fully aware of that since at least 2020, okay? Because that was a different two people that were also street homeless about going back to the other house, and it's in text messages and writing that I was told I could only return to that house if I was alone. So you have a group of people that are profoundly insane, and they are trying to concoct that he's the person doing this when there's no possible way he's jamming fucking telephone signals from a room in a house. So Almighty God already put a stop to that. All of it. Oh, your brother whistles a lot. Maybe it's him. Just that grossly, profoundly insane. So there's not a fall guy for them in their them day business. So I'm just waiting for God to kill them. It's not a guessing game, and they're interesting. Like Ron Defoe Jr., they're not interesting. So I don't write stories. If you isolate me, force me out to interact with rapists and drug addicts and psychopaths, and then that's a fun new part of your governmental system. So just waiting for God to kill them. I don't forgive you. You're a species in a mass extinction, and God will melt as much as of your brain matter as it takes to get you to calm down, and then be like that couple with they're on a journey and stuff. And to my viewpoint, because I'm not in that process, it appears like, yeah, it becomes like a little bit too much for my mind to comprehend, but I understand it. It's not false. Yeah, it's not false. Um, I know I was hoping they were done. It was like quiet, and then as soon as I turned this on, I noticed all of a sudden it was um, people are having a day. So, anyways, um, what was I just talking about? Oh, it's not false. Okay, it's not false. You're going to transition to something else. So your brain is going to be completely different. So you don't need that brain. So you just, it's got to be, it's a Christian binder that contains you, and you're supposed to be Christian and kind and not doing these horrifying criminal acts that you're doing against me and others. You're not supposed to be doing that. So that's your business with the constant movement and blocking and stuff because you refuse to listen to God. And so you're all over the place, and then you're frightened and you're bargaining, and it's just terrible. So I've experienced it in real life with the attacks and the forgive me and blocking me from food and stuff. It's just eventually you lose enough brain matter that you just whimpering around and you stop asking me questions like that. And then some of you, it's you will ask the same thing 47 times a day because you have no recall of anything. You've lost so much brain matter, and every second of the day you're like in the moment. So hopefully by that point, someone will remove you off of those computer systems that you're using to do this, to jam the phone, to do this, to block an income, right? All of it. Um, all of that is bargaining, and right, that has nothing to do with maintaining peace and safety, by the way. Okay, so that is may have worked as an excuse for a decade. As I stated, this has been going on since at least 2014. You're criminally insane. I don't care if you forgot who you were and what you were doing. You're criminally insane. So I'm just waiting for you, like I said, to get to that point that this insanity ends. Okay, so um, it's not do all these weird things all over the place and there's a them they. Right? It's just, whoa. So, anyways, I ignore it. I ignore it. So, someone's having a blip this morning. Not my problem. Everything's going fine. I was just um, at a store yesterday where I am. Okay, everything's fine. I'll be at a store today where I am. Like I said, I intended to do my jog walks and then just go to a store. That's all I have to do today. Eventually, I'm going to have to do some laundry. I'm trying not to be up someone's behind that's having clearly cognitive issues and increasing difficulty just keeping up with his own personal care. So sometimes this stuff ebbs and flows. I've noticed like they have good days and bad days, and then it's just all bad days. So, um, like I said, eventually that person will have to go into some sort of extended care. Uh, so it's just, he's clearly serving a purpose now where he's caring for his mama, just like Paul with the cane in the hat. So, obviously, these people have done this just because they were already told about how he was. So they're forcing me to live with him, knowing I'm not allowed to have guests. Okay, so they clearly have some sort of disgusting fixation on me, as the comments show. Okay, it's really not a misunderstanding. They're perversely insane and doing it on purpose. So I'm waiting for them to die. Right, or just like I said, eventually someone's got to take them off of those systems and stop pretending that they themselves don't know that they're doing it. It's all a big bunch of nonsense. Um, and then God, I don't even have to worry about any of that. It seems overwhelming because of how profoundly insane these beings are, but it's all going to work out. I'll have food and water in my mouth until the day that I die and go on to my next cycle. So I understand why it's going on, even though it is annoying. And then, just like I told you on Twitter, um, just like anything else, I feel that God assists in suggesting things that you could be mentally reasoning is going on, because most of them are probably not new. People have studied your beings, your species. They've studied them in a dying process for thousands of years. So it's not really like a new concept to be, are you thinking this? Are you thinking that? Okay, that's not a new concept. And then clearly one of them flew into a demented rage this morning when it was just like Jen, fuck you, Mary. Boom, you might as well just tell me, yeah, that's what I was thinking. And you went into a fear flash and shut all this shit off, and then God took you out of it. So you're locked into profound insanity. I'm saying, what was I talking about? Something about it's a matter of time, and then you immediately go, yeah, that's what I meant. Time will tell, when you accessed Brian Buchanan's Facebook page and tried to pretend to be him. That's not what you meant. You're not a prophet. You're a criminal. You're not a prophet. So. Just like she was not a homeless person, she wasn't had no income, and she wasn't a prisoner in a room. She did the same thing. when you see a person doing that, you can realize how mentally insane a species can get. It's probably has something to do with a personality type and an underlying mental health condition that you've had your entire life. So apparently snow and stuff, yeah, it's the rest of us really are not interested in that day to day. Like, believe me, just trust me. That's all they can do, right? And then lay on a hospice bed going, it becomes disgusting. That's all there is to fucking irritate me. That's all their existence is I wait for them to finally fucking die. So, anyways, the rest of us, that was funny last night with the cop, with the you probably have some police officers that are way more fit than people are used to seeing, because it's been now a decade. It's been now a decade. Yeah, just you're not gonna really have jokes anymore about cops at the donut shop and shit. So, anyways, they totally will. It's not even a joke, and they will act like that's funny. The people doing it, yeah, it really becomes gruesome. So I actually choose to sort of ignore it. I think I put this thing on, even though I didn't want to do that. But for my dog walks, this shirt is cute, but it begins to annoy me. It needs like more of an elastic up at the shoulders. I'm not a long sleeve shirts. That's why I put it on, because I didn't want to wear that sweater with just like on my arms. And then I ended up doing someone else's dishes, and then the sweater got okay. This is inside out. Then the sweater sleeve went into it, so hopefully that's gonna wash out, because it was like a greasy broiled pan. Some of the stuff that she was doing, you can become like emotionally scarred from it. I swear to God. Weird. Because, again, you can just tell from the person's underlying mental health condition in the words coming out of their mouth and shit. Some of the stuff that she was doing was like sinister. And then other people just have a cognitive loss, and they're probably not like having those sinister things or whatever. Right. But you just go, I know, you go, okay, so it's probably because the other thing needs to be washed. And there's something's going on where the brain is not able to figure out how to do things. That's what happens. And it's probably dependent on each person. And it's probably something that the person wasn't doing regularly for so long that it's not in there. It's not like this. Whereas her, she would purposely, and Candy was doing this too, purposely make dishes like completely more and more difficult to wash. Not a doubt in my mind that Candy and her were doing it on purpose, just because of they're both psychopaths, and the stuff, the whole entire life, the way they've been. So yeah, because at first you want to go, is there some reason you used a broiler pan and not that thing? Probably because the thing needs to be washed in. As opposed to she would spill shit in a fucking oven. So every night I'd go down there to make one of my dinner meals, and the thing would start smoking, and I'd have to fucking shut it off and clean an oven. I don't believe for a fucking second it was done on accident. Just depends on the person. Some people you just know that they're fucking doing it on purpose. I mean, get real. So, anyways, we're clearly doing this on purpose. Okay? Need tongue. We're clearly doing this on purpose. So, really, really disgusting. Really, really perverse insanity. So I don't care how many fucking jokes I make. You're well aware of the Virgin Mary, and I have nearly 14 years of fucking celibacy. Okay. So, and I clearly don't believe in just discuss. I don't even have premarital sex. So, yeah, it's like a literal child. You're that fucking gross and perverse. So, anyways, someone knows who's leaving those fucking comments, even though you think you're anonymous. Like, it just. Anyways, in terms of how would the fucking public know anything about Ron DeSantis and Casey DeSantis working with Al Gore at the Golf Channel and outlawing Florida alimony? How would the public even know that? Is that like part of it where everybody still can see this, but they pretend they can't? Fucking unreal. Like, this was years ago. God explained it to me why you started doing this more and more. Because you don't remember why you started doing this more and more. You started doing this more and more because you began to get freaked out because you started out the original thing you thought you were going to save yourselves. That was the excuse for what the fuck you were doing to me in Florida. Was you're going to use me as a thing to get people to fucking stop. And then when you saw that they wouldn't, you started blocking me all over the place to try to explain why that was going on because you knew you couldn't fucking control your own population. You were told. You were absolutely told, and it's over long since gone. That fucking hair is not going to stay down. It's long since over. You were told to stop fucking doing this to me. It's way long since over. You can't morph people that you put in a fucking grave back to my 6 minors. Okay? It is long since fucking over. It's your extinction. But you don't even remember why you started doing this. Sequestration. You don't even remember why you started fucking doing this, but I do. You made up Operation Pillow Cloud because you wanted to fucking toy with me and 6 minors. See, baby Veronica, free Amir. Aha! We're not. It's not about your mother. It's about this dude in Flint, Michigan. Aha! Okay, you're gonna fucking die, and you have no chance of a rebirth in this physical form. I don't care who the fuck you think you are. None of that matters. So you keep going, oh, it doesn't matter who she is. That's God fucking talking to you. It doesn't matter who the fuck you are. You're being turned to fucking dust. Whatever it is you're gonna T-Rex, Brontosaurus the fuck into like an ant, from my view, you're fucking dust and gone for all eternity. Praise Allah. I don't care if you think you invented the fucking wheel. You're not needed here. You're a fucking scourge on earth. Okay? So that's a learning lesson for you things in your fucking families. So then we are in Mexico prison and you're all turning to fucking dust. Jill, Andrew, whatever the fuck that dude's name is, that apparently used to be, what the fuck is it? Some sort of poet. You're being turned to fucking dust if you're not already dead. You conjured up a fucking reason for going, aha, it's not about your mother, 6 minors. We're not freeing your fucking mother. Aha, it's Flint, Michigan. Not my species. You're deranged fucking animals. Yep. That was quite a fucking show, man. Quite a fucking show there. Oh, did that not happen? Have you gotten to that point? When I explained to her about Benjamin Netanyahu and Angela Merkel standing in the fucking streets of Paris, blocking traffic, and then she screamed, that never happened. Are you at that point yet? Well, you never fucking did that? You didn't make up a whole thing, baby Veronica. You didn't make up Free Our Mother, go on Fox News, pretend you're fucking in Iraq or whatnot. You didn't do that? You didn't make up you were in a fucking Mexican prison. And then, I took $25,000 from Donald Trump. You didn't do that? Fucking gone. So then I'm gonna think this is funny as fuck because I'm gonna go on Fox News and I'm gonna have an interview with Greta Van Susteren. And I'm never gonna fucking mention Mary LaGore or 6 fucking minors, and I'm famous and I got a dog. Poof. Just like I fucking said. The age is over. Your entire species is in a mass extinction. No person that is my species is doing that shit. And just leaving me to be fucking holocausted and my 6 fucking children? Nah. Nope. So that's good for some people to know so they can go about the rest of their fucking lives, we hope, and morph into this couple where they're on a journey and all of that business. Which again, I explained to you fucking things that isn't untrue. It's not false. Okay? It's not false. And praise Allah to my fucking reality, you won't exist. Okay? I don't need to hear more fucking arguments about why would God create us to just kill us? It was explained to you a million times. Why would God create a T-Rex to just kill it? You're more important than crushing down to make dirt and pissing out fresh water? I don't think you're more important than that, no, in terms of an ecosystem. It's called grandiosity. Why would God just... Because you're a temporary species. Just like the fucking dinosaurs. Asked and answered 47 times. It's called mimicry. Explained, asked and answered. The wheat from the tars, you are tars. Okay? Can't make any sense. That's why George Papad is inviting me to his fucking dumpster for the night, not laying a fucking hand on me. And you people are on a fucking television. That's why. Saying nothing the fuck about me and actually taking that opportunity to do fucking outrageous sadistic actions against my fucking 6 minors. So you deserve everything you fucking get. I hope you all have fucking ball cancer and you have to have your shit cut off before you finally fucking die. Since you're clearly not men anyway. Do that shit to a fucking lady and 6 minors. You're fucking men. Break. All you things do is put men in prison and in a fucking grave. You are not men. So anyway, like I said, it's sort of like that dude on the corner. You don't look real good right now. I don't know if that's some sort of Yahweh trickery. Yeah, like it's got something to do with them not being so mean or something. I know, you just go, what is God telling you there is the more better thing? You pretend like you're humane and are you ladies? And then you make me look bad by making me angry and scowl. And then I have lines in my face and shit. Just some of the fucking shit that you things do. It's amazing. Clearly, you won't give me the fucking clothes, and then you run around. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Yeah. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Virgin Mother. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Just animals. Have you seen these things? Animals forcing you to dress like you're a fucking street hooker or a bag lady, and then they dress up and it just looks like a fucking animal. And you go, oh my God, what the fuck? 2 5-star Prince of the Nail, Mary Gladys, the fucking Virgin Mother. Ha 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 ha. Nun Mary. Ha ha. So you things don't need to worry about, time will tell. And trying to make up all this fucking horse shit about Brian Buchanan. So you just go with poof. It's called take your last breath. Sayonara. Sigh another. It means take your last breath. Just like blasphemy means be my last enemy. But you can't be forgiven. It's just you're a different species and it's the end of your species' time on planet Earth. Okay, that's why those people are talking about their transition. They don't pretend to care anymore. They bypass Christianity. They've superseded the Holy Bible. Not I do that. Not I don't get it yet. I never get it. I'm a human being. Okay? I never get it. There's not a secret knowledge that I'm supposed to get. I don't break out of a fucking binder. I'm not in a binder. Okay? Human psyche, primate psyche, not the same thing. Just forget. I would forget shit and become mentally incompetent, but I wouldn't act like a fucking deranged animal. That's why my brain matter doesn't make up all this fucked up shit, which is nothing but break all rules. You can't break out of your fucking binder. Okay? You don't exist without that. You're literally not like a monkey brain with another brain on top of it. You just fall over and can't walk or talk. You can't actually break out of your fucking binder and get out of God's control. You can't do it. Even with those drugs and alcohol. Jesus fucking Christ, man. This is what we're going to do now. We're not going to do that. No, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make her do our laundry. That's what we're going to do. And then food and water, shower. That is it. That's better. You can't break out of your fucking binder, animals. So, anyways, it doesn't have to be mean like that. The other people, like the people on their journey, if they were wondering, it's because of other members of your species are extremely difficult to deal with. Like they're murderously insane. Yes. Whatever has happened to them, their brain is like wacko and won't accept that it's supposed to be a Christian. That's the basis for the whole species. So. Complete submission to Allah is not actually a religion. I think they've tried to explain it for years, and it's just people just won't stop making up stuff. And clearly, a bunch of them are just going poof too. Uh, it just depends. Some of them are just deranged psychopaths again, and it's an excuse to hate. Hello, I am Mary Islam. Okay, so if you're running around going, I'm a black Islam and da da da, and that's what you think the Nation of Islam is, it's black people against white people. That's white face, black face monkey. That is not my species. We don't get off on people being afraid of us. If you could refrain from doing this, okay, because you're not a man. Thank you. It's called a gladiolus. So if you're running around and you're filled with vicious bigot hate and you want me to, I don't know what that was in the corner, or you agree with all this fucking horse shit, year 14, please stop doing this. You don't even know what it means. Explained it. That's a fun thing. I like explaining that one again because people have an interest, especially before they go, because they're sort of like, oh, all right, well, yeah, I don't think that's really me or something I want to be doing because I'm not understanding it. It sounds scary to me. Okay. For my understanding, just the way to explain it, like this whole thing about gender and stuff is a little bit strange. My species is essentially all male. There's no females in my species by your understanding of gender. All those like feminine, whatever you consider feminine, all this is not existing in this physical form. All those things you don't like about males and men, it's not going to work out for you in this physical form. All of it, in love with your dick, you think you're so great, you're tall and skinny, all that stuff that Lupus Mary person was saying. You're like in love with your own body, you don't pay attention to you, all this physical fitness, like not into this histrionic nonsense and stuff, and everything is babies. And, okay, not going to work out in this physical form. There's other forms of life for that. Right, Brian Buchanan. There's other forms of life for that. Ta-ta. That's all a beer is? Okay. No thanks. Just like I explained. It's not going to work out, seriously. This is the easiest way to get dudes in bed. Otherwise, what is this? I have one of those. Right, Warren? Yeah, just, no. Nah, you are inadequate. You can't tantalize a man with your manhood. You got to be up to par. Just stay home. There's females that say that too. I'm not going to get into it. Some of the stuff I had to listen to, they say the same thing. They're not me. Okay? Everybody's different, but there are women that will tell you, look, you're not aware of a lot of things. Like, we're not one of your chas. Okay. Like, they know how to masturbate. They really do not require any of that. So, they're not me. They're not in love with dick. Right. So, it doesn't mean they're gay, just, why am I doing this? You're a complete asshole. I'm just doing this to have dick. You need to try Mary out because she's the only one that is putting up with that. As you could see, 6 weeks of that. She never goes out with women, get it? Okay, so probably the women that do, right? Women that will be a man and go out with a woman, they're like all set with that. That's really probably all bisexual should mean. Yeah, like I'm either a man or a woman. That's bisexual. But I am not going out with women. Nope. Mm-mm. So, anyways, it's even worse when I'm a man. Probably. He told me when I first started doing this that I spend a lot of time by myself. A lot. Probably in the last 3,500 years, I've probably majority of the time been by myself. And then probably in between. I don't even know if I'd have to be in one of these gross forced breedings, but clearly none of those cycles would need to be recalled. Right? None of those cycles would need to be recalled. Just if the people were already produced and we were here for a period of time before the invasion came, there's not a need to recall any of that. Oh yeah, I could have been like in these forced breedings where none of the offspring were even my species. But being born from me would somewhat tamper their behavior. So it's like a big, huge delusion. Anyways, um, clearly used to be Annalise Frank recognized me because she went, I'm your honey when I had used to be Freddie Mercury. So I would say that she, when she got to where I was, she recognized me. And then sometimes when people don't acknowledge that, and then you grow up and you sort of go into that sort of a delusion. So, like, you can't take my children, those are my students, not other people become my students. Um, some people that have an interest in human behavior or they're other human beings, okay, fine. But it's not possible. I mean, sometimes, yeah, if Christians want to have a happier existence, that's what the Catholic Church is for. The Catholic Church is not non denominational and all this other nonsense. So, over time, as the binders were getting sicker and sicker, and the whole population was getting sicker because that's all it takes with the primate is two of them. And then that becomes something that's acceptable when it's absolutely not acceptable. That's all it takes with primates. Oh, yeah, that's what I thought too. So that's a school of thought. Get it? And it's just way out of control because it's been going on so long. But the Catholic Church is not supposed to function in that manner. And even the Catholic Church has been infiltrated by this nonsense. So, right, you just after a while go, there's no way that I can actually help you. Maybe a Presbyterian or something because you don't actually want help. Yeah, you don't want help. You want someone to tell you you're okay. You don't want cognitive behavioral therapy. You don't want to realize you've got to be medicated. You don't want to understand you have to stay the fuck away from children. You don't want any of that. That's not what priests are supposed to be doing. Probably. When you feel like you're not going to get food and water unless you do it, that's the problem. How does anybody get any help at that point? Shut up. Right. They were all supposed to join the priesthood and the monkery and be single and available for discussions. I don't know. I don't know if they were supposed to do that business with the homosexuals or not. All right. So, that doesn't sound like me. No, that doesn't sound like me that you make up that they're not allowed to be homosexual. That doesn't sound like me. I'd say that's somebody else's input and it's actually not part of the original church. Anyways, like I stated, hemophilia. Okay, because clearly we don't go around murdering people, right? So it's got to mean something else. Went over that when they were doing this business about getting married. And all they were asked to do is not use the 14th Amendment in their case, and they refused to do it. So that's it, just tells you that they're not my species. So there's something faulty going on with the binder. But I mean, someone that studies primates would probably tell you that there's probably neutered males that are running around for the most part. I don't know about the females. And like they're just so genetically bad that they're not allowed to breed because that's all primates do is breed. So homosexuality in that species, they're called neutered beings that aren't supposed to produce offspring. So, like I said, I would think that the dominant would go around killing them all as soon as they come out because the dominant knows that they didn't produce that. Okay, so if one of them ran off and started doing that, explain some of it and collecting neutered males. Um, Not good, right? Like the confusion about being a different species because of the mimicry. If there's not a mimicry, they kill you. So, yeah. And so it just becomes this big confusing thing over time. And then even that changed. Even that changed because clearly you don't typically have a female with four husbands. That's usually not going on. So even that changed at some point. But that somewhere in time that had to have been going on. But what was happening, I think, is that they were actually even sexing their own children and stuff because that's what primates do. Like all of it was a confusion about a different species. Like so that's really all that species is trying to copy me. Okay. This new business about murdering me, I mean, you just go, whoa. You're supposed to just copy me. Okay. And it's just Probably. So a whole church had to be set up. Okay, this is the proper behavior for your species. And then you're not allowed to know anything about me from that point on. And people are left with they just die, don't tell them. Okay, because it's not their job to do that. So I'm not sure about this business with the homosexuals, other than they probably weren't supposed to do that, or I don't know if there was some sort of an issue at some point. I don't know if it had something to do with illnesses or whatnot, but um, yeah, I don't know. That doesn't sound like me. Yeah, that doesn't sound like me saying that. It's no different than anything else. You're supposed to proper court and get married. It's really people that are clearly not homosexual, they just make up things. So, and then people become grossly fascinated with stuff, and probably because their binder is going. And like, I think I'm better at explaining to people that they're not homosexual than homosexuals because people are individuals. And then it becomes like too weird where you're getting into people's personals. I think it's easier to explain to people that they're not homosexual. Um, I went over that about a person during the Gen time about a person that thinks that they know a person when they don't. Okay. And because of extreme, what's called a homophobia. So, well, it's probably a person that's uh, an abuse victim and possibly homosexual. As weird as that is, you would never think you would see that in this day and age. But when you know enough about a person's background, right, it explains a lot about a person. So it's just you suggest it, and then they're supposed to get counseling by somebody else and figure that stuff out. But it's like the opposite of Jen. It's a person who wouldn't stop going out with meals when there's clearly, and just unfortunately, you even know too much about the person's sex acts, and you're just like, I really don't think you're straight. Something happened to you in your childhood, and it's just, it's not normal for people to get that grossed out about homosexuals. Right. It's like pot, what do they call it? Latent homosexuality. Right. Right. When people go, oh my God, that's disgusting. Like it's a normal process of growing up where you basically consider all things in your head, not you actually do it. You consider all things in your head, and then through maturity, right, you realize what works for you. So you don't really have to teach that to people, and then thinking that you have to teach it to other people's children. And then, yeah, like sometimes there's a little bit of confusion too about what I do. And then everybody thinks they do that then. You don't. I'm the Virgin Mary. You don't do it. So, anyways, it's just most of the people that are actually allowed to talk to me are the very people that I can't provide that to. It's just an ongoing, profound insanity. So, and just all of it culminates in excuse after excuse after excuse to keep me completely isolated like this while trying to abuse me in an internet prison. So, like I said at the beginning of the live stream, just waiting for that to end. I can never at any given time provide counsel to people in a genetic grouping that I was in. No one does that. Okay? No one does that. But right, like from the onset of this happening, you have maybe even billions of people making up an excuse for it when there is no excuse for it. Okay, like I wasn't supposed to be taken away from 6 minors to teach other people how to be a human being or to give them counseling. right? Just all of it, even going out to Quincy and stuff, all of it is nothing but an excuse and a bargaining and a running of a population of people that have a book. So they have to realize they're in the Passover. So, in the many of the things that they've done, at least temporarily, would make it way more frightening for them. When I don't feel that was needed. I think it would have been better for a population with a Christian binder to believe that they did the right thing, and it's just ongoing where other beings keep preventing that from happening. I don't know if they're trying to terrorize them. They fly into these rages because I'm not mad at other people when I want absolutely nothing to do with them. Um, those types of weird things do exist. So, oh yeah, just they become angry because they know that I want nothing to do with them. And then any person that it seems like I'm not angry with, yeah, I mean, a lot of brain loss, a lot of brain loss. It's scary, yes, when you have beings that will not accept that a person does not have to pay attention to them, does not have to acknowledge them, does not have to forgive them, does not have to call them, does not have to talk to them, does not have to bless them. It's scary. Right, because clearly Almighty God decided 6 people that were to be in my presence, not you things. If you were to be in my presence, you would have came out of my vagina, all due respect. Okay? So it's really sort of monstrously insane. So this will be the last time that any of your doesn't mean it was you because every so often just large groups you go poof. Doesn't mean it was you per se, but this will be the last time this happens. The absolute last time. So, like I've told other people, if they ever wanted to study an extincting species that is supposed to talk your language, um, you would hope that some of these beings doing this would have veered off into, but they don't. I know, just well, their families, after they remove them off of those systems that they're doing this with, they'll make up a lie about I left them a note or something, just so that they will take their medication and die. Right. Eventually, all the families that have been allowing this realize that it's not going to be that. People make up things. They have to keep making up an excuse for this, and that clearly was one of them. Oh, okay, so this is so that each one of us goes on here and we get our last rites. No, it's not. It's really not. I should be in my house with my 6 children, or a husband, my own housing with a husband, or just my own housing, and then I'm on the regular internets. And then anybody on planet Earth can tune in when they want to. They can leave comments. That's why they got rid of Facebook, because clearly what I said would have worked. So they're still in the Antichrist, and I'm waiting for them to be removed off of those computer systems for the rest of the Passover. Nothing has changed from the summer. Like, just waiting for them to be removed off of the computer systems for the rest of the Passover. So, nope. They are turning into dust. Right. You're better off reading a book, praying to God, and stop asking me, because it's always going to be the same answer. Like, no human being does this. It just and your entire species is in an extinction. So, unable to go into the journey, contemplate other forms of life, maybe other planets, other universes. Um, Still unable to do it. So, I wouldn't even bother doing the. Don't even do the Braveheart thing to them because it's not going to make any difference to stopping them doing this to me. Right? Just all you have to do is do what she said and free her. Then you clearly can't be forgiven. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so you really need to just give it up. Okay? That's just take it as God won't let you do it, and just go to your next thing. Whatever it's going to be. Like that couple, they lost enough brain matter where they realize, right, why do we have children? How do we have a house? How is this happened to this woman? How is it still going on? So all of that was psychological suggestion, and to keep food and water and stuff going. If you're asking about people do this, that, and the other, and then everybody sits. You see me sitting? I am not a primate. So God, I guess, would tell you folks anything and everything. And then you actually believed it because you're not my species. That should have seemed something to not do. Right. That should have seemed something to not do. You go, why would she have to lose all of her children and be in that house like that for us to run around and do heroic acts before we suddenly decide to stop? Okay, you're not my species. Just give it a rest. Really. So probably, I guess, about 11 maybe. Go do my jog walks because I'm already done with my soda. It's just something to do with primates. The ones that it made sense that I would lose all my children, be shipped up here, kept hostage and destitute, and then they just go about their lives, push out children because they're grandiose. That's the very definition of grandiosity right there. The virgin mother, okay, the perfect mother, the chosen mother on earth of a species. Some reason she shouldn't have children, okay, shouldn't be able to get a divorce, shouldn't get alimony, shouldn't get housing of another kind, all of it, but yet your mothers. That's the epitome of grandiosity. So anyways, it's part of a mental disorder. I'm not sure that any of my species is grandiose. So, well, maybe. Is that something? I, Elizabeth, is that something? Is she still living? That's what I'm saying. This is like so maddening because it could be so much funner. But that's why they're like in a what is this fun? Oh yeah, just the shit that I was faced with in 2011 and 12. I'm sure everyone that was on Twitter gets it, and we were all shut the fuck off because we're not supposed to have fun. We're not supposed to have fun, and now it's that you don't know anything. What's the problem? Why are you so negative? You just go, oh my fucking God. Jesus Christ, God. Thank you for fucking killing these things. But, anyways, that's why I don't give a fuck what they think. I understand the God sent delusions that are going on. And some of them are wickedly annoying, and you can't care. Just let them think you're fucking bitter and mad and angry and you don't look so good. Who fucking cares? Who cares? You're selfish. You don't do anything. Who cares? Okay. Really, don't be driven mad by these fucking things. So, was that a thing? Was she saying he was grandiose? Well, there you go. Enjoy your satay. It's like the Chiwa. Like here comes back George Pat. Make sure you mention on the thing about in the dumpster how grandiose I am. Probably. I don't know. I mean, I don't. I would think his personality wouldn't really change that much. So maybe she's not the person who said that or something. Oh yeah, maybe she is. I don't know. I don't know. Oh my god, I don't want to know about that. I don't want to know about people's personals. Yeah, maybe it's some sort of a joke like she's his piece of furniture or something. That sounds like just people laying on top of each other. Anyways, obviously not. I know you just go, I'm not going to explain my sexuality when you're a platonic friend. Clearly, I'm not displaying my sexuality with you in a dumpster. Anyways, I have not yet ascended to the Father. That was funny. If Sean was around, I've not. Hey, guess what? Ascended. I don't know. He's somebody's father. Ascended to the Father. Maybe it's Sean's father. I ascended to the Father. Aha. You're no way around. Keep your ass away from my father. No, that wouldn't even be funny. That beat Sean with the dog already tried that business, I think. That was weird. All due respect to him, but that was weird. Just all of a sudden, as soon as Patrick showed up, it was like his shorts were like his ass was hanging out. You're like, dude, pull your pants up. What in the hell? You guys are like gotta stop using drugs. Like God, that was like crazy. I guess maybe test your homophobia. It's not that I don't want to see ass crack. I don't care what None of those people are love interests of mine. But I mean, if you're a drug dealer, yeah, right. It's like that's not a boyfriend. Well, there's something going on there where you won't go out with people that you're able to go out with, and you don't want to do proper courting and stuff. You're having issues yourself. Anyways, 10:30. So yeah, I guess it's pretty cold outside. It looks like so sunny, bright. You'd never guess that, but I figure it's probably gonna be cold in the basement. So probably just 15 minutes. I don't even have to do anything today, but I figured I would, and then probably walk to the store. I know I might have to. I think I'd feel weird wearing my fur coat, but let me see what the temperature is. I don't want to be cold. I'm just taking a stroll to the 31. That might be a little bit too warm for that coat. Yeah, it's wicked warm. So I'll just bundle up. It was cold yesterday, and I didn't wear that thing. So that black sweater is wicked warm. Acrylic is like the next best thing to wool, but it's not good for the environment. But you can wash it. I don't know what they do with wool. Did they just burn it eventually? Yeah, you're supposed to wear stuff under it, I think, and then take it off and let it air out, probably. But eventually, you've probably got to burn it and get another one. It probably starts to stink. So yeah, I mean, if you take something off and let it air out in the sun, you'd be surprised. It'll take a while for it to start smelling like your VO if you're wearing stuff under it. It's very itchy. I don't know if I'm allergic to it or it's just itchy. So you usually wear something under it. Well, they've got skin under theirs. That's what you do. Yeah. Did you ever try doing it with them? You just go like this. Do they do it? Someone has sheep. Do they do it if you go like this? Don't do it like you real fast, like you're gonna kick them. You go like you just did a joke. Well, you can try it if you're near sheep. You go to a petting farm or something. They used to at Animal Kingdom, goats and sheep. You just go like this and then see if they do it. I don't know. I just thought of it because I did it. It like when you. It's like when you do like a zinger and someone does the drum. You know. Yeah. I'll look it up on YouTube after. Anyways, so like I said, they have skin. They have skin on theirs too. If you wonder why they're not itchy. Oh my god, that thing with the otters. It is totally like that. That's my whole mindset. Just okay, so clearly other beings that speak my language are not, they probably can't. They're not even allowed to even, yeah, because we are going to pretend we're God Almighty and we're going to view this and then we're going to twist it and turn it into our own fucking reality. So, anyways, you're on the land and you're in the river. Okay. So you're essentially moving dirt into the river bed, right? I'm trying to find. Well, I started thinking what is going to happen with all those, what is it, metals in the fresh water? Because we can't eat the fish, right? Don't eat the fish. Stop trying to fish in the fresh water because it's filled with metals. There was two of them in Orlando when I was living with my friend in a condo going to dental assisting school. I saw two of them. It's a retention pond, and I was like, "Oh my god, there's friggin' otters in this thing." Hopefully, someone didn't fucking kill them. You know how people are. It's very sad. But anyways, there's always two of them. It seems like, unless I'm just basing it on that, right? So it's just a different species. It's been coming up in the walks, so I hate to say things because everything seems to encourage these fucking criminals, man. Everything encourages them. But maybe they're at the point of flipping out. And so, yeah, it's just everything is so we're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to fucking do it. You just go, oh my Jesus Christ. You know how you could have fucking done it? Left me the fuck alone on 4 acres of land. That's how you could have fucking done it. That's how you could have fucking done it. So, year 14. Killing off people's brains because they won't stop doing it. It's clearly profoundly insane. Right? It's just clearly, I tried to help these folks at least 5 years ago. Just free me. They can't do it. It's like some of them are stuck in this, and some of them are already dead. Some of them are stuck in this profound insanity where they can't correct it now because then they have to accept that they were never supposed to do it. So they're just stuck in it until they die. Yeah, just there's not a way to help them, honestly, from my point of view. I've been doing this, but this is the 14th year of it. So clearly someone reported me to DCF. Someone did it. Okay, so there's nothing that can be done for those people. Okay? And then just the people working at the Lake County, what was that a DTA office? I think it was a DTA office. Nothing can be done for those people. They're clearly fucking damned. Just every person that I've interacted with and that judge that saw all that stuff at a Social Security case, all of these people are just poof. Dedham District Court, poof. You're like, that's your reaction to this? Even after all this time? Poof. It's really just peace and safety for the. I mean, were you outside yesterday? It's helpful, I think. You don't have to be afraid of that business. You don't got to stay out in it all day. But if you went outside and went, yeah, what the fuck? Like, what is that pollution from the cars? No, it's not. That's a different thing. It's either radon or radium. I explained it in October of 2020 when it snowed. Okay. And I was walking in it with my red MK coat before all my shit was stolen. And I had to keep spitting. And when I got to the cemetery, because I walk in the snow, it was like an awesome day because it was snowing. I could see that the snow was not snowflakes. It looked like broken up fiberglass. So when it does that, the snow itself is different. In case you haven't noticed, yeah. I was looking at it, looked like squares instead of snowflakes. like someone broke up fiberglass. So that's another way you would know. But the pollution does make yucky smells sometimes, especially when there's a lot of clouds. Okay, but the moisture in the air, as soon as there's moisture in the air, you can taste it in your mouth. I can. I don't know if it's a smell that seems like a taste or it's a taste. So I don't know if it's an additive so that they know when they're making the nuclear weapons, they know if something's leaking. I don't know if that's what it is. And not you can actually regularly smell it and taste it. But God had me look it up. I explained it. I used to brush my teeth with baking soda, and I clearly haven't done that in at least a year or two. Okay, so I was that October, I went, I wonder if this is from like brushing my teeth with baking soda. Like it's like what? And so afterwards, he had me look up radium, and that it actually, when it breaks down to radon, the moisture, the moisture sort of like clings it more. Okay, so it's that, and it's an alkaline metal, so it makes sense to me. It's definitely that. So, well, if you can't, then it's something that God's doing with me. If you can't, if you're not having that going on, if that didn't happen yesterday, especially in this area right here, I think it lessened up, or yeah, it lessened up a little bit when I continued on my walk. But so um, people have to protect and defend the U.S. Constitution in terms of your world. In case you didn't know that, so when people um, decide that they're going to take over a land piece, they get killed. Okay, you just can't do it. Right. So there's several ways to explain it to people depending on what their belief system is. Okay, so that's your world. Like your world is real. Even your world, I am stuck in until you things are gone. Your world isn't unreal. Right. You can't just exodus the United States of America, and you didn't even do it correctly. You didn't do what I do. Okay, so you're fully in your commerce clause and you're under US laws, whether you like it or not. So because you attempted to take over the United States of America and you've been holocausting its citizens, you're guilty of treason and the punishment is death. Not I'm threatening to kill you. I don't have a thermonuclear weapon. I'm explaining to you my point of view as the Virgin Mary and as one of your victims. It's also crimes against humanity. There's been several examples of it reaching that level, as it always does when you try to break out of your binder. Okay, so um, that's your reality. Yes, that's not untrue. I've tried to explain to some of your law enforcement and the public in terms of trying to avoid you things as much as they can. Because the God sent delusions and then the wild doctrines where you have brain disease, your primates, and your what you're experiencing isn't exactly new. It's just it doesn't usually happen in a grand scale like this. It's been a while, and you're not enlightened. That's a facet of mania, which seems to be one of the early symptoms. Okay, like that sense of detachment that happens. Some of you have given testimony about it. Okay, that seems to be the beginning symptom of it. Um, uh, some of it is either coincides with what happened in 2011 and 12 in terms of waking up. This is awake to everyone. It's been since 2011. Okay, so it's not something like I haven't woken up or other people are not awake. It's that you have brain disease. Okay. Um, People that are using that meth stuff, I think, experience a similar thing where they go to a higher plane or something because the brain is being affected. Okay. Part of what I do is God puts me through all these various things that are like psychiatric conditions so that I can understand it and then ask questions and see if you're sort of experiencing that yourselves. Okay. So I would say that that thing about feeling, I don't know if it's like you're one with the universe, you're one soul, stuff like that. I'd say that's an early symptom of it, from what I can tell. Um, okay. And then it, that thing called Luquette in 2019, I was talking about Pearl Harbor Day or something, and she goes, I don't know what that is. Like, I think that they think that they're like, we're all dumb. Okay. Because we don't understand that the world is fake and all this stuff. I'm aware of that. Okay. I'm aware of that. Okay. You're a primate with brain disease and you're a criminal. So that's what the things I'm talking about. If you're not really familiar with talking with them, I think that they think everybody's dumb. Right. Like, we haven't done it like that in over 2 years. Okay, well, this is the thing though. I'm the Virgin Mother, and I've been a hostage on this land piece since 2011. And you were told specifically to approve every stipend. So you're guilty of treason and crimes against humanity, to which the punishment is death, and the people with the nuclear material killing you. Does that seem unreal to be going on? Is that not reality? Why were those offices closed in the first place? So that this is you're the same people. If you forgot again in 2022, when I'm dumb, and then you're going to display to me how you took over two federal offices in Quincy, and you're going to walk from the Social Security through the hallway to the DTA office. Okay. You were told to stop shutting off SNAP food cards and saying that you're doing a renewal or a recertification. You were specifically told to stop doing that. From what I can gather, you broke into the offices just for the sole purpose of stopping the automatic renewals. So when I went out there in 2021, after just mind boggling, primates gone wild, profound insanity, which helps nothing. Okay, so we definitely don't want that to happen again. What, third time? One, two, three. A fourth time? Okay, hopefully we're done with that. Okay. You're not actually trying to help anybody. It's your primates storming into houses and hotel rooms like they're trees. And you're trying to stir up shit and force people out to an arena because of your mental insanity. So the mind makes up things. They'd have to explain to people what they're doing. What was that? Were they saving? Say just well, first of all, you did it in Claremont, so this would be the fifth. We're not going to have a fifth time of it. You did it in Claremont. Okay. You took my children, thus for you're all going to get a brain plague and die at that point. It's in the Holy Bible. You can't take my children. Okay. A millstone around your neck and buried in the depths of the sea. Okay. So it's definitely a brain plague because of that action. You were already doing it from 2008 up until November of 2011 when you actually did it to me on Arrow Tree Reserve. So it's symbolic, not you were supposed to do it. So anyways, you do it there. You do it at 12 Flanagan Place. You do it at a hotel. You do it at a rooming house in Quincy. Okay. So that's 4 times. All right. Were you trying to say that Barbara Kent renounced and thus for she's going to heaven? You're all going to some sort of a heaven. If you could stop the nonsense and the bullshit, please. You're all going to some sort of a heaven, but you're not going to rebirth in this bodily form. So you're supposed to be Christians that believe you go to another place when you die, not you rebirth. You're not supposed to believe in reincarnation. Okay. You're not incarnated. If you were incarnated with the Holy Spirit, you wouldn't be doing this. You'd be doing exactly what I do. So whatever it is you're incarnated with is not a human being. Okay, so I have no idea what God is transitioning you folks into because you seem to be stuck right now with primate psyches in a brain binder that's supposed to pretend to be me, which is a Christian. I'm not a Christian, but a psyche that is a primate accepts a Christian doctrine. Primates are not allowed to think that they reincarnate because they don't think that anything they do matters and they become completely amoral, as you've seen, because they're not me. I can do whatever I want and not die. I guess maybe you folks aren't going to die, but you're not going to be reborn in this bodily form. Okay? So it's really you want food, water, electricity for the rest of your time until God takes you where you're going. Okay, so at this point, it's each and every day just do. Nothing else going on. So don't expect big to dos and all this stuff. Don't expect to ever be freed. You cannot be freed. If you wanted to be freed, you would have freed me. Okay, so it's so terrifying to you beings to have freedom that you have to die being kept like this. So some of you are on like a mission now, which is like so wildly insane. But I mean, in a sense, it's refreshing that you're showing your true selves and your intent. Like you're showing the planet how monstrously, ferociously insane you are by the shit you're doing. Where now you're going to admit that you're trying to give yourselves everything, quote unquote, free while keeping me a hostage. Not it's a mistake, any of that going on. Not there's a form to fill out, just, okay, you're monstrously insane. So that's refreshing for the whole planet to see. Praise God, finally, after trying to pretend constantly you don't know this is going on. It's like a mixed up social distancing that's going on with your brain matter and your primate psyches. Oh, so yeah, snow maybe. So I felt that the public was ready to hear from me again, since apparently when they heard from me at the beginning, you folks started shutting everybody off because you didn't want to accept reality. So now we're in the 14th year of it now. Many of you have previouses like Lassie, but that doesn't mean that you have a promise of an everlasting kingdom. It doesn't mean that. That's my species. Right, because we keep his commandments because that's a species, right? Not like you're being judged or it's something you can do. It's just you're a different species. It like an Encyclopedia Britannica, yes, like the Holy Bible. So I represent a species, not I represent a toy that you keep a hostage for all eternity for your enjoyment. And then go need tongue and stuff like you abuse me when you need somebody to abuse. You go to me for medical information. You go to me for advice. You pretend I don't exist. Okay, just I represent a species, not I'm a human sacrifice that you do this and then yay, she doesn't have it, so we all have it. Maybe cancer. I don't know. I don't think anyone's impervious to ionizing radiation. I already produced six offspring that I'm pretty sure you already murdered after kidnapping them. So I'm clearly not looking to produce any more people. Approaching 53 years old, so I'm not really concerned about that. Well, I have my almonds and raisins already for today, and I took out chicken tenderloins because tomorrow's Saturday. I only have to go one more day. I finished up my baby broccolini. None of that stuff went bad. The baby broccolini, that was a while. Yeah, that stuff will last a while, and it had its own bag that sealed, so that might be why. Yeah, for some reason, I would think that stuff would go bad faster in a sealed plastic bag, but a week from Monday, a week from Monday, Cobb week again. Yeah, it goes by fast, huh? I know. It's going to be April already. There we go. There we go. Yep, 9 a.m. tomorrow. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. We're down to 4 now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more arm sets. That's it. 4 days of regular walk, just like this week. I guess a week from Sunday is Easter. This Sunday's Palm Sunday. Friday's Good Friday, so Monday's a full moon. I haven't had a calendar in a while, yeah. I did it once when I was, 31? 32. I kept telling people I was 31. Al goes, you're not 31 anymore, you're 32. It happened to me once, yeah. It's pretty easy for me. You just take the year and -1. Yeah. So, remember that last year? Okay, someone put a stay away order to the entire MBTA when I could have taken a train and gone to the Museum of Fine Arts for free on my birthday, had I known. So I'm glad I didn't know. Get it? Oh yeah, just march. Now they're all going to give themselves free museum passes. Yeah, it's part of a. I think that they're in a panic. I think that they're still in a panic, but it's really coming across as monstrously, ferociously, sadistically insane. Where they're going to make up some way that they're all not going to die because they Exodus 20. That's not Exodus 20. I know, you just go, Jesus Christ, give it a rest. That is not Exodus 20. You are under U.S. laws and you're being put down for treason and crimes against humanity. So if you could give it a rest with the fucking free ice skating, Mary Gladys, ha 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 ha, that would be great. I'll worry about that after my jog walks. I'm going to have to redo it. I suppose I'll probably wash it today. I didn't wash it yesterday either because it was so cold. You just get back from a walk and you go, quick shower. Wild and crazy guys. Eventually. Oh yeah, I guess I can look it up now. I think I actually do because I need water. I could probably go a day, but why? Because tomorrow's the food pantry. I might as well go today. So let's see. This is going to be 15. It's only 15 minutes, by the way. I am sure. Went over that. Like these people are like hoping that I die. Oh yeah, because they made up a doctrine and then I explained it. Like you weren't it your future was never going to be any different. Okay. Your future was never going to be any different because you're a different species. So you're not like doing something where God is going to punish you and that's your binder. Okay. So right, you just this business where you're going to delete all these Facebooks and then everything's going to start over and primate, not a human being. Okay, just no human beings do this. Okay, just you got to trust me. I would never in a day keep someone a hostage. I just wouldn't do it. I mean, you haven't observed my behavior for 14 years or my whole life. Why was I not? Because I know this. Had I stayed in Florida, you probably would have murdered me and I'd be in a fucking grave for 14 years already. But had you not done that and I got a lawyer and this and that, nothing would have been any different. Nothing would have been any different. Nope. Because you win every fucking battle. You win every dominance. And all that would have happened is me, possibly 6 people, get fucking torn apart constantly. Even when I said I'm not going to do it, you still tried to force it to happen. You're completely deranged. You decided that you care what the fuck goes on with Al Gore. That's your life fucking goal. Oh yeah. Because I say I'm not going to use my fucking children as pawns because somebody reported me to fucking DCF and I don't want my children in a fucking DCF system. You decided that you were going to fucking do it. But you're going to get forgiven and rebirth in this form? You're out of your fucking minds. I mean, who can understand a psychology like that? That is fucking monstrously insane, yo. Just free Amir. Aha, it doesn't mean your mother. Just over and over the fuck over again. No alimony. You're not getting Al Gore's Social Security to do God's work. What the fuck, man? Oh, yeah, just. Son of man. Oh, yeah. Son of man. That's all that is. Those are primates with a dying binder. Okay, so you don't even know this person. Okay, you don't know Al Gore, you don't know Mary Al Gore, and just it's your fucking goal into the 14th year that this woman is not getting a fucking means to live. She's not getting her own housing. She's not getting a means to live. She's gonna, I guess, beg for a fucking SNAP food renewal every year. Okay. And then she's going to be on this thing and still nobody can fucking talk to her. Okay. What the fuck? That's why your public doesn't panic about thermonuclear weapons. They are not that fucking deranged. Oh yeah, you would think. I know you would think that these people are like ex fucking boyfriends of mine or something. I was with someone for 20 years. You go, who the fuck are you people? You are monstrously, ferociously gross and fucking insane. So anyway, it wouldn't have made any difference, folks. Right? It wouldn't have made any difference. Just God spared me from all of that. That's why I do what I'm told. And he specifically said, King Solomon, after forcing me to come up here in February, and then they fucking attacked me in my house. They started a fucking foreclosure in my house in November of 2010. They started it. They made up that he's supposed to be in fucking DOR or something. Like they were already fucking gone. I don't know how many people they were doing this to. And I'm sure if you screamed at them 1,000 times, it wouldn't have made any difference because they don't give a fuck. So there's no feeling bad for them. I don't have to look at it. I don't have to bask in the glory of it, but I need to know what's going on. I need to know what's going on. Not I'm going to sit and watch it for hours and hours and hours, but there better be some people dying the fuck off. Okay, because this is fucking crazy. Everyone that witnessed what just went on last summer from April to August, I'm sure goes, there better be some people dying the fuck off. There better be some fucking thermonuclear weapons going off. For sure. They seriously tried to make up an excuse to put me in a fucking holding tank with other fucking criminals. Just, what the fuck is this? They try to make up a fake fucking court thing for Joan of Arc. They're fucking deranged, but they would actually do it. I'd be in a fucking jail, and that's part of their fun show. There better be some fucking thermonuclear weapons going off, man. I wouldn't do this, obviously, but you could have females that are going to start slicing their husbands' fucking throats. going, is that funny? I don't have a husband. I don't have anybody that I'm forced to lay in a fucking bed with laughing at this shit. Remember that woman that convinced her husband she wanted to do kinky sex and then kept stabbing him fucking 100 times? That's what's going to happen. Is that funny? Yeah, because some of them start to get wicked gross. Because it's all about what they think they can get away with. So some of them they're not supposed to come out of those personas. So if they're living in a house with a female and they let their persona slip like that, like say that their daughter was approaching like 16 and all of a sudden all of a sudden their father started acting fucking weird around the daughter and saying fucked up shit because their brains are dying and he lets his fucking persona slip. Of course a woman's gonna tie him to a bed and fucking kill him. She's just gonna let some dude rape her fucking daughter right in front of her. I know, you just go, is that funny? So anyway, the lung cancers and stuff have to happen. The colon cancers, the lung cancers. God's not going to leave a bunch of children to be raped by their own fucking father, because that is what primates do. That is what primates do. Okay, so yeah, your offspring are going to sicken and die. Like the second that you folks think that this is something to do and you're going, yeah, up at a fucking train, like you're going to lasso a fucking woman, yeah, your children are going to get cancer and die before you get that sick. Just letting you know, you start making up excuses to put people in fucking prison like Susan Atkins, and then they have to marry a fucking person, which means they're repeatedly raped in a fucking trailer next to the prison. God's gonna kill you. It's just you're not allowed to be doing this fucked up shit it's like a peek as to what you would do, and then it explains why your children or your grandchildren are all dying. So you people keep avoiding going into like nursing homes and shit. Now you don't even have the ability to do that. So someone like that is supposed to be put in his family's house. And then what if there's grandchildren around and you think it's a fun fucking game to do this to me? That's not going to work out. Oh, yeah. All of this is revealing to people with nuclear weapons that they have to kill everybody because it's so fucking grotesque. So, because when your brains die, it's right. You're giving peeks out of your personas about your fucking intent. It's like that was like shocking. I'm sorry. From April to August, that was fucking shocking how sick you things are. That's why your courtrooms were fucking closed. And clearly it causes a problem when you have a sick population that then thinks that they can't get arrested. You can still get fucking arrested. You're just not going to have fucked up people trying to put the Virgin Mother in a fucking holding tank. That doesn't mean you can't get arrested. Yeah, just people that are fucking deranged that keep trying to equate themselves to me. We are going to shut off your food and you can't get money, Mary Gladys, because you said we were in the Commerce Clause. I can't give a fuck about what you're doing. You're clearly in the fucking Commerce Clause. I'm not the government. You're being fucking euthanized. I don't care about your fucking threats. Can you taste radon? Is that not happening? Person who doesn't have a question about the fucking weather? How are you printing yourselves fucking money and you're not the government? So breathe deep. The rest of us want to have food, water, electricity. Like, this is us doing something about it. It looks like we can. No, you can't. So I don't know if they're ever going to know that because they're so fucking violent and retaliatory. So yeah, some of the shit is going to be fucking annoying. Oh, well, yeah, I guess now it's going to be 14 stories about migrants and shelters and Mary Gladys. I guess it is. I guess it is. Because maybe some of them have to believe that constantly I'm going to be fucking agitated and I'm wrong about everything and no one likes you. I don't give a fuck if you like me. You're deranged fucking animals that have to be murdered because of what you've done to me. I don't care if you fucking like me. No one likes her anyways. No shit, you're fucking deranged, murderous animals, not human beings. I would expect you not to fucking like me. There's a reason why primates don't live on my land. Clearly, you hate me. And there's no lions or fucking hyenas here. You don't look good right now. Jesus God, thank God I don't look good and I smell like fish. Thank you, fucking Allah. Okay, so I'm going to keep walking over here. Because apparently, if you don't smell like fish, that dude's going to come right up to you and rape you on a fucking sidewalk. That's what I'm saying. And when you hear shit like that, you go, oh my fucking God, how are you still walking around? Okay, so I got this pulled up. I got to stop stressing out because I don't even have to do this. I know you just go, you're on your day off. That is serious, son. Serious, serious, son, right there. All right, so what am I going to do for music? I don't know about that. I don't know about 1 hour of white gangsta. Maybe, oh, this is a mix. Maybe I'll do this. This should work. Okay. So, oh. Bathroom again. I told these people what, 12 years ago? Okay. They're not going to do it. Yeah, so, well, many of them will have to be medicated because either that or they're just going to be screaming in the streets. Right. Any amount of walking helps. As soon as you take a walk or you do the jog walks, it goes away. It's just something about the action of doing that. It's like, I don't know if it's releasing glycogen or um, that's I theorized this about why they started using so much drugs here because they would not walk anywhere. It's just when God says to do something, he really means it. So some of them are going to be pressed and pressed and pressed and pressed until they finally free me. I just have that sense. So it's really something, if they're still confused about how they're not freeing me, all they have to do is approve that Social Security and send it here. They know the address. They need to end the fucking bullshit. They're the people that shut the 401 a month off. You're not going to save your people. It's an extinction. So you've got to come up with another means of coping, but at least you're not me. Okay? You've been doing this. This is the 14th year of it now. So you've got to come up with another way to cope other than she doesn't have something we have. We have families. We have children. We have internet. We have tablets. We have housing. We have husbands. All the stuff you've been doing. You've got to stop doing it. We've got free ice skating, all of that stuff. You need to really just focus on your families. For the sake of your own minds, right? Because you will, to an extent, be doing that until you become mentally incompetent. And then you're going to starve to death. I know you just go, oh, okay, so we just lose more brain matter and then we won't keep. Oh my God, you will starve to death. That's your answer now? You're going to all agree to end up like her? That's the point of starvation, right? That's the point where you pray for lung cancer, I guess. What happens when you can't drive anymore? Right, that's... Whoa, I guess. All right, I did a jump for 15 minutes. It still won't even be noon time. I don't know why I'm worried. And then I guess walk up to Stop and Shop. Got that. I didn't do my fruit last night. I got too tired and just went to sleep. A little bit hungry already. So I might want to get my stuff done. I got that. I got enough beans for tonight. Then I'll have to put some more beans on to soak. Yeah, maybe. But I really should go to the store first. Maybe make some flats. I still have some cauliflower greens and cauliflower, and I have broccoli. So I could do another salad. You know, like that type of thing. I was frying stuff. I wasn't even using mayonnaise for a couple of days. Yeah, I was frying stuff because I wanted to use up the baby broccolini. And I had like half the pepper I wanted to cook. I was doing the eggs. I was like frying them. I was getting into this thing with the fried eggs. Yeah. Right at the time where I'm not going to have that much eggs because I depleted my egg um, thing so much. I know that's true, but if I had a SNAP food card, because yeah, typically, remember when it would be Easter time and eggs were like 50 cents a dozen and shit? You see it in the store and you go, they just won't stop doing it. I mean, it's obviously dementia. There's no shortage of the shit. I saw peanuts on the shelf yesterday. Whereas before, right, I'd go there and go, so I don't know if it's another person that was on a fucking Snap card that was buying the peanuts. Probably. Oh, yeah, just. So you admit that you won't stop trying to murder me. Okay. Oh, that's good. Not it's a mistake. So I think you understand that you can't stay on planet Earth in this bodily form with me when we're in the 14th year of an uncontrollable urge to murder me. All right, let me do this.